So Total Recall from 1990 is one of those rare breed of films that probably confused people a little at the time, but it's proven alarmingly accurate in terms of predicting what life's going to be like in 2025 and beyond. So Total Recall is directed by Paul Verhoeven, who made Flesh and Blood, RoboCop, Showgirls and Starship Troopers. I mean, how's that for a pedigree? And the premise of this one is that construction worker Doug Quaid, played by lovable Austrian Arnold Schwarzenegger, keeps having these vivid dreams about being a revolutionary on Mars with a mysterious brunette. Quite a subconscious fantasy. He's got a real bee in his bonnet about Mars and presumably this mysterious brunette, much to the chagrin of his blonde wife, played by a pre-Basic Instinct Sharon Stone. Weirdly, this very early performance is one of her best natural and most convincing roles. I have no idea what happened afterwards, but Sharon Stone did seem to phone in just about every other role she had after this one, with the possible exception of Casino. So I don't know what happened there. Anyway, one option to stop these dreams is for Quaid to satiate his Mars and mysterious brunette fixation with an expensive trip to the Red Planet, maybe on a SpaceX rocket or something like that. But there is a more affordable option, which is visiting a place called Recall, for a less expensive virtual trip to Mars with all of the bells and whistles of an actual trip to the Red Planet. Now, Quaid does get warned by everyone, from his wife Sharon Stone to the boys at work, about the better than average chance of getting lobotomised by going into Recall. But this is Arnie after all, so he unsurprisingly says what the hey and goes anyway. Always the adventurous type. But anyway, something does go wrong, and Quaid seemingly experiences some kind of malfunction or glitch in the Matrix in the process. And now he has Michael Ironside and a bunch of hired goons chasing him, and a mysterious acquaintance who claims to know him trying to help, and all sorts of bizarre things like that. So it's up to Quaid to get to Mars for real and unravel the mystery of who he is and what's going on before Michael Ironside and his hired goons kill him. So Total Recall was a pretty memorable Arnie movie from 1990. The premise of this one was certainly a lot more novel than most of the movies he made up until that point. I remember at the time it was a bit of a red-headed stepchild for action fans, and the studio didn't understand it and the fans didn't seem to understand it. It was just that bit unusual for 1990, when the world was a bit more, or a bit less unusual, I guess. During those times we seemed to prefer Predator or Commando, but both of those movies are way weirder through a 2025 lens than Total Recall ever was. And I reckon this movie was eerily prescient at the time. A lot of things in it came true. I mean, Johnny Cab's basically a self-driving Waymo vehicle, albeit one with an irritating avatar. Looks like Don Knotts or something like that. And Johnny Cab also predicted how frustratingly literal AI would become, as any of you who've ever asked ChatGPT or Grok a question will attest. So this movie also predicted basic, complete corporate control over basic and essential human resources, like things like air and water and real estate. That was a bit out there in 1990, but it's par for the course in 2025. I mean, Ronnie Cox is basically like a sleazy BlackRock real estate czar, and it accurately predicts our obsession with manufactured experiences nowadays. There's also themes about mass surveillance and existential identity crisis, so this one did get a lot right. And let's be honest, they love to mine the shit out of the moon or Mars the first chance they get. I'd be surprised if they aren't already selling the mining rights off to both these planets and moons. And purely as this film, if you don't want to take any of that on board, it is a lot of fun anyway. Michael Ironside from Scanners and V is in fine form as the lead villain in this one, as he always was back in the day. And another favourite of mine is the guy that has 5 kids to feed. He's a lot of fun in the movie. So Total Recall works in equal measures as a bit of a prophetic dystopian sci-fi film, and it also works as a big dumb action movie, so whatever you want out of this one, you're going to get it. I reckon this movie would make a pretty cool double bill with Soylent Green, actually, which, aside from Total Recall, is probably one of my picks for the most accurate of the dystopian movies for picking what life's going to be like in 2025 and beyond. both of them, unfortunately, were very clairvoyant in predicting a few grim occurrences. But that is Total Recall from 1990. I think they remade it, but as with all these remakes, I forgot it existed the second that it was over, and I couldn't tell you anything about this one, even if they tortured me and shoved bamboo shards up my fingernails. I couldn't really tell you anything about the Total Recall remake, whereas the original is still quite memorable, still quite relevant, and I reckon it's aged like fine wine, and it is just as relevant today, if not more relevant than it was in 1990. So if you have any thoughts on Total Recall, what you thought of the movie, what you thought of the execution, what your favourite Paul Verhoeven or your favourite Arnold Schwarzenegger movie is, by all means let me know in the comments. And if you are enjoying the content, please like, share and subscribe. Help a brother out. And if you are returning, hope to see you next time. And until next time, take it easy.